Alright, so in this tutorial we're going to continue on, and we're currently on scene 3. So this is where we zoom into the cabin here, and this is a classic 2-up shot. So just to go through, I have created more of this scene. We have just employed a few of the basic things here. Understanding what is going to be animated, what is not going to be animated. So let's run this down. So first of all, here I have the dash layer. That is not anything special, it is just a shape there. Going further on, we have our right hand, which is separate from the body. We have our right hand forward. We have our right hand back. We also have our steering wheel. We have our text box. And we have our head for body 2 and body 2. We have our body head for 1, and we have our body for the main thing of the body. We also have the car seats, which is separate as well, and we've got the back of the car scene there too. So just so you understand what is going to be animated, we have here the faces will be animated, as well as the arm is going to be animated as well for this person here. This will also be animated as well. So this one's going to be a little bit involved. Let's jump into it. So first of all, we're going to modify this text box layer here. This is just simply a color square, color rectangle with a bit of type inside here, nothing special. So let's understand that we are going to be animating this, so we need to obviously convert this over to a symbol, and we're going to call this one here scene 3. And this is going to be called here text box. Okay, so remember we are roughing this out so we can make this look more like a text box later on. This here is just, the starting point of all this stuff. Okay, so now I don't want this coming in right away, so I'm going to go over to this frame here, the keyframe. I'm going to select the keyframe, and I'm going to shift across to, let's say, frame 15. So what's happening here then is that we don't see this at all until frame 15, and we continue on from there. Right, so remember we are smashing this out like this. Next up is that we have our face right here, our face for body 2. So I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to also convert that over to a symbol as well. This one's going to be called here scene 3, face 2. And click on this one OK to make that as an item we can animate. Also here frame for the body head 1, we're going to select that one as well, and we're going to go over to create this as a symbol as well. So it's scene 3, and then head, if we can spell head right, head 1, and we click on OK. All right, so we are getting there. Now let's animate these heads. So this head frame, head 2, we can understand that the head, your head actually shifts on the neck. So therefore the point of which the rotation occurs is going to be shifted down. So we are currently in the transform tool, and we shift this white blob right down to where the neck would be. Same thing for head 1. We do the same thing as well while we're at it. Get into that habit of understanding the sort of this process. So now to animate it, we're going to now right click, and we can convert this to a classic tween, and we can just ever so slightly animate this person's head. So F6, do another F6 randomly, and go back to F6 here again. There we go. So any small little animation here and there is going to be really cool, right? So I'm just shifting this head a little bit. Maybe shift it around this way like that. So as we go across, this person's head is shifting, right? So know this person is talking, yeah? We go over to body head number 1, and this person's going to be reacting. So we go and create classic tween, and at this point in time where the thing comes in, just a little bit after, we're going to put a keyframe over here, and another keyframe over here. And we're going to shift this head so that it looks like this person is reacting to this person saying something. So let's play this now. Okay, cool. So we have a bit of action there. All right, so next up we need to understand how we can now animate this arm, because obviously this person is going to be steering, and this is a hard bit right now, okay? So we're going to lock all these layers. All right, and now we're going to be concentrating on just this right hand. I'm going to lock the dash as well. Right hand, as well as the right arm, and what's this one here? Yes, so we need this one, and this one here. All right. Now to organize a few things, let's say if you have a few things that are be animated in one chunk, you can put them into folders. So let's go here, and we're going to call this one here, right arm body 1. And we can move this into one layer section here. So we can turn this whole arm on and off whenever we want, which is really cool. All right, so we understand that we're going to animate these items. So therefore we need to convert these over to symbols. So once again, on the right upper arm, we're going to convert this to a symbol, and we're going to call this here scene 3, right arm upper, and press OK. And this one here is going to be we convert to symbol, scene 3, right arm lower, and these are all graphic elements too. And then we have the right hand, convert to symbol, and scene 3, right hand, and we click on OK. So we have these things here. Now we can animate these very basically by doing things such as, you know, having their own timeline, what have you. We can do that, or we can use the bone tool. Let's try using the bone tool over here to make this a little bit easier to understand. So we go over here, and we have this rotation point over here, which is the arm socket. We go over here, which is the rotation there of the arm, and we have here for the hand, looks like the hand, the rotation of the hand there at the wrist. All right, so let's introduce here the bone tool. So at the moment we have no bone tool available, and we need to bring this into our toolbar. So we go to edit toolbar over here, and we have the bone tool. Let's drag this across. All right, so the bone tool is exactly this. It creates bones on things. Okay, so we go over here, bone tool, and we start over here. Now we understand that the pivot point is over here, and we go over here to the other pivot point, and we go from that pivot point over here, and we can now do some really cool things. This is now an armature. So what it means is that I have my keyframe here, all right, and all these parts of the arm are now on part of one timeline. So check this out. If I want to move this arm, let's say at this point in time, I'm putting the keyframe, and I can now shift this hand up slightly so that it is moving the steering wheel. So here it is, all right? And we can have it so that it comes back down again. Let's have it go down a little bit sooner, so things are moving at different rates. You can move this arm back down again like this, and shift the hand like that. So it's moving the hand ever so slightly. Okay. And we can bring it in a little bit there like that again. Okay, cool. So let's try this now. Cool, pretty cool. All right, so all I did then was just press return to just modify this keyframe. So it's working all right. There we go. So let's press Command S or Control S on the PC, and let's see how this is going to be looking now. Control, test. And let's see this movie now. Zooming into the car. Bro, slow down. And then we go off into the distance. All right, cool. So this is really roughing out still. That'll be all for this one. Now the armature one is probably the most difficult, making sure that you understand where your pivot points are for that bone tool. Please play that over and over again. You can use this same bone tool to make legs walk, for example, but more about walk later on. That is another tutorial that I've recorded previously. That'll be all. Thank you. Bye.